Hello everyone, so today I'm going to go through my BSFO online V Premium deck profile that placed third during the event. This will be based around Astral Poets, so we've got the V starter here. Then next we play 4 copies of Valkyrion. I was considering playing 3 at the start when they first revealed the new Genesis cards for this, but then I decided to go for 4. Reason being is that even though EOS analysts can search for Valkyrion, it requires a counterblast, and some people do depend on counterblast denying. So it's probably better to have ways of hard drawing as well. Plus it's a grade 5, so you can always hit it with the other Valkyrion to get 5 drives. And it's also good as a soul charge target for decay if you want to have an easy, cheap 1 card cost for this next guy, Origin Deity of Heavenly Light Uranus. An important card if you want to do some offensive plays. You try and pack as many Astral Poets as possible so you can more consistently meet the condition. And another card you also want to pack Astral Poets for is EOS Ancestor Dragon, because of the perfect guarding. And also it's a Valkyrion Searcher, so very good for that, and giving a force marker as well. Then you've got the Gleaming Lord Uranuses. Sometimes you have the soul, sometimes you don't. Then next we have 4 copies of Astral Dragon. So you may have seen this coming because I kept saying pack as many Astral Poets as possible into the deck. There is space to play these, and it's more reliable to also have more Astrals, not just because of the reasons I mentioned earlier, but also because of Valkyrion having more grade 3 targets to hit into for more drives, and also because Decay has more targets to soul charge that can gain more grades, and also a target for Decay when he searches for 2 Astrals, because I want to, as consistently as possible, find 3 force markers by searching more Astral Dragons or any Astral Poet for that matter. It's very good fodder. It's also an okay backup ride. It's better than the other ones anyway. Then we have like the 4 Gleipnirs. So if you ride Decay and then you ride this over, you can actually add the Decay from your soul to your hand, and then you can just use Decay again, which gives you a lot of good advantage. Alternatively, you can just go with the Right Chain card, Arcturus of Fervent Will. Better if you have Bakrux. Now, thing to know is the one game I've actually lost in the entire day against Prism in the semi-finals. Basically, I was stuck in grade 1 for at least a few turns. I think I G-assisted and failed 2 times. I can't really remember for sure because the stream isn't up at the moment. So until Bushiroad puts it up, then I guess you could find out there. But what happened was that I damage checked this 1 copy in my first damage check. So even despite having Bakrux in my hand, I couldn't really search for this card. So that's kind of a disadvantage. Now this is a very rare situation. It just never happens. It's like a 1 in loads of games. It just happened to happen in the semi-finals. I mean that's kind of normal, I guess. But yeah, this is still worth playing, I think, at 1 copy despite the bad experience, because I want to, even if there's slight reduction in ride consistency, I want to make it so that my deck still performs to its best potential in most cases. And to be fair, it probably wouldn't have made much difference if I play like 1 or 2 grade 2s. You can't really tell for sure, to be fair. I mean, you could fail GSS even if you had 8 grade 2s in deck. You can never know for sure. We're talking about very small marginal probability shifts, and we also got to take into account that even though I'm running less grade 2s, that I've got Bakrux as well, who is in a way a pseudo grade 2, although not really a pseudo grade 2 if you're damage checking your Arcturus, because yeah, that isn't going to work. Another thing to know as well, I don't think I had access to Bakrux in the very first turn, because otherwise I would not have been able to search for Arcturus anyway, because you can't be damage checked unless you've ridden at least once. For Decay of Just Path, so in that case there was another sort of inconvenience that happened as well on top of that, which made it even harder. So we're talking about a lot of things that went wrong in that 1 game, so I wouldn't say that's a reason to not play 1 copy. But Decay is really good because you can find more targets, and it's free as well, so you get more markers, so you really want to use Decay. I think the more Decays you draw, the better. And then furthermore you have Bakrux, which also searches for your Arcturus of Fervent Will, as we just covered. One thing to note, like with the Gleaming Lord Uranus, it's Soul Blast 2. Oftentimes when I ride Decay, I'm more likely to meet the condition for Gleaming Lord Uranus compared to riding Bakrux, because Bakrux is a Soul Blast 1. Now as for the triggers, we've got 4 heals, because I just don't want to die. And then we've got 4 crits, 8 crits, 12 crits. Sentinel crits, that is. Because that's what, well, it's decent defense, but we've already got PGs, and also I'd rather play crits than PG draws because of Valkyrion, which can steal games, so there's that too. I mainly just entered this because I wanted to try out my fully maxed out true max rarity deck, which has, like, you know, obviously ASL Valkyrions, but it also has the BCS Astral Dragons as well. So I just want to make use of it, and I'm also a big Genesis fan, so there's that too. A lot of people who may have heard of me probably know that I'm quite heavy into theory crafting with that deck and all these things. Like, I really enjoy deck building it. I wasn't really sure what to expect walking into the tournament, since I haven't had much experience in V Premium. I think even with the meta, like the Angel Feather deck, for example, I've never played against before, the Hamiel deck, and Prisms I hadn't played against either, but I went against Hamiel in the last round of Swiss, and then I went against a lot of Prism players during that day, and yeah, I guess the deck was built correctly for those matchups, so it helped. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, so keep an eye out for any later deck profiles around Genesis or Oracle Think Tank. Maybe I'll do gold, I don't know, maybe I'll check out some other things as well. I'm planning to also pop a Keta Sanctuary deck profile soon, so there's that too. Anyway, until then, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.